Nate Parker versus his haters. This is going to be a story, going to be a video about how Birth of a Nation, Nate Parker's masterpiece, his opus, the best movie of 2016 and one of the best movies ever made, has been sabotaged. This is unfair, and this needs to be brought into the light. The Birth of a Nation, which was written and directed and starring Nate Parker, had been right from the get-go sabotaged and vilified. False rape allegations, by the way, which not only Nate Parker was cleared of, but his friend who had, of course, been with him in the night of question, also had been acquitted of course, found not guilty. But let's dive deeper into it. Caucasians, those racist Caucasians, did not want to see this movie come out. But not just them. They had help. Take it away, my man, Tim Black.
Now, let's jump back again. Let's talk about the feminists who are complaining about the movie, most of which have not seen the movie, and the whole smear thing. Back to that. I wanted to give Miss Union her own spot because I did a video, so I wanted to address that. But here we go. Folks, I've seen Nate Parker and other stuff. Why no one talked about rape then? I've seen them in Red Tails. Why no talk about rape allegations then? I saw him in The Great Debaters. That's where I first discovered him. So he did an excellent job. I loved the movie. Why no talk about rape allegations then? If you can think, right? If you have the ability to put two and two together, the only reason why anybody's talking about rape allegations for which he was found not guilty is because they wanted to destroy this film. Or else you would have heard about it every time he was in any other movie. The man when he was accused of rape back when he was in college, he was not famous nor rich. He's still not really famous nor rich. Maybe his fame has increased, but don't give me that he's too powerful. People would have brought this up if it was widely known and it was an issue years ago, I feel. So, as a black feminist, and I'm talking directly to you, you were used as a tool to destroy this movie and to destroy this man. If you want to further an agenda, fine, further the agenda. I think your issues of how women are sexualized, demeaned, and rape culture, all of that, yes, I think those are valid issues to bring up. But not now. And not using this man who's been found not guilty. We have actual guilty rapists that you could use. How about Holtzclaw, who raped, I don't know how many women as a police officer in Oklahoma? How about use an actual rapist, a convicted rapist facing 263 years?
Excellent, excellent point. But of course, they don't want you to know about that. Very, very interesting. They don't want to focus on that. They would rather focus on this man and his film. I wonder why. It makes really no sense why. There are a few reasons why. They, of course, like some others, are basically arguing over petty differences over who Nate Parker dates. Honestly, let's just be real about it. But they unbeknowingly are pawns in a much, much larger, more nefarious scheme.
For you to use Mr. Parker's, once again, not guilty, by peers in a courtroom, to use him as a springboard to attach yourself as a hook for pushing your stuff, that is beyond disrespectful, shameful.
And let me just tell you something. This was a man that actually spent his money, spent his precious time and effort to make a movie he felt needed to be told. He had never seen anything like it before in his young life, in his adult life. To conspire, even unknowingly, with those with bad intentions, those that want to see this film sink for the story, the rich story that it tells, that is unforgivable. And you all should be ashamed of yourselves.
You know who you are. When you condemn a person who's been found not guilty by our justice system, the justice system that incarcerates black people like it's giving out free candy, you're trying to tell me that he was powerful as a college student? And you want to take up the case? Please, black men particularly don't have a problem going to jail in front of a jury or a judge. That's the problem. So for you to somehow like, well, obviously he really did it. Who are you to, What?
Now let's delve into the other part of this video. A movie that I had never heard of up until literally a week ago called Moonlight. Moonlight is about same-sex relationships, about a boy trying to find himself. It's directed by Barry Jenkins, written and directed by Barry Jenkins, based off of a play of one of his gay friends, and now he's directing this story called Moonlight. This has had rave reviews, but yet The Birth of a Nation that had rave reviews has been sabotaged. I wonder why. Well, let's just take a look at some pictures. Social media can tell you a lot about a person. A lot about a person. Let's just see if we see why it could have been sabotaged and why this movie is being pulled into the forefront. Why is this movie being given so many accolades? So many accolades. I mean, look at that. 99%. It's unheard of. And yet, they want you to see this movie. But let's find out about the man himself, about Barry. Let's just see through his Instagram page or through his Twitter what we can find out for ourselves. Well, that was certainly eye-opening, don't you think? That sure does explain a lot. It explains how one of the biggest heroes in African American history has been swept under the rug for some same-sex love pic. Very, very telling, don't you think? Did you see those photos? Very, very interesting. I might also like to add that those were the majority of the photos. I did not doctor anything. Those were just a majority of the photos. But let's continue.
Nate Parker. I got my white wife and my white friends and my white companies I'm working with. I don't expect them to treat me. I don't expect them to want to even fund a movie about Nat Turner.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, are the current box office to date tally for The Birth of a Nation as of October the 20th. If you can read and comprehend well, the budget was surpassed, and he actually made his money back. So this movie was actually a success. He almost made twice as much back.
I feel strongly that you're using this guy, this man, Mr. Parker, as a launch pad for that, and I find that totally disingenuous. And if you don't know that you're being used as a tool, that doesn't make you any less of a tool. You being ignorant of the fact that you're being used as a tool.
A tool in someone else's game, someone else's sick and twisted game. Nate Parker that spent his own time and money, years in development of this movie for a film, a piece of African American history he wanted to share with us. All because a selfish group of people want their story to be told, want to push their narrative out there, their sick, weird, strange, bizarre, anti-black narrative out there.
Told you I was coming back getting the dump.
Going on, big dog?
What's happening, bro? I want 10 tickets to Birth of a Nation for Friday, the 7:15 show. All right, I got it. So, for all y'all people complaining, talking all this stuff, I'm gonna buy you tickets for Birth of a Nation so you can go see it. So let's stop talking shit. You feel me? We find reasons to crucify black folks. And every other race does stuff to us and does stuff to other people, and y'all find reasons to crucify your own folks. Stop talking shit and support. You feel me? Because regardless of how you feel about the director, anybody else that has something to do with that movie, Nat Turner's story is more important than any of us.
I can very quickly be used as the black guy to say this is okay. So if I have to take that license and have to respect it and own it and be aware of it, so do you, and you don't get a disclaimer by saying, well, we didn't destroy the film. I mean, we just brought up a bunch of stuff that had nothing to do with the film about him and told people not to see it, but we didn't destroy it. Why are you blaming us? If the shoe fits, wear it.
The Birth of a Nation. Have you seen it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And while you're at it, let me know what your favorite film about an uprising is. Also, quick side note. This movie was unfortunately sabotaged by the media because of the controversy that surrounded Nate Parker. And instances like this infuriate me, especially when, in this case, the controversy was already resolved. People are actively bashing this film, people who haven't even seen this movie, because they have some type of unwarranted animosity towards Nate Parker, or because they don't agree with the subject matter and the purpose of this film. Just because you do not agree with somebody else or their mission, does not mean that their work, their character, or their art is worth any less.
I think that this is one of the best movies of 2016. I'm gonna give this film an A. I'm unapologetic about that. You can disagree with me. I would love to hear your reasons why. I'm very impressed by what the result was after all of the hype from Sundance and even from the controversy. I'll leave the controversy stuff out of this. If you want to leave a comment about that stuff, I'm more than happy to hear about it. As a film on its own, I think that it's exquisite and a beautiful piece of art. It's not a perfect film, but I think it really does hit the target. Those are my thoughts on The Birth of a Nation.
It is important that children know, young people know, coming up right now, that not all of us were just like, well, we slaves, so I guess when they let us go, they let us go. Oh, well, hope things work out. Can't wait till somebody white helps us. It's good for us to know. Young people need to know that, yes, they are from a people, some of which fought back. I think this is very important.
And that's why you see the feminization techniques, the effeminization of the black man, of those of African descent, African American males. They want to make us weak, make you weak, make the whole race weak. That's the whole point. This is why this movie is so lauded as landmark, a milestone. This is why they love certain movies and certain things and certain people so much.
For anything.
Well, I'm not asking for undying support.
I'm not asking.
And he's unremorseful.
Amber, allow her to speak.
I'm not asking you for anything. I'm not asking you personally for anything, but what I want you to understand is, you know who I'm asking for? I'm asking for those people in Mississippi who ain't never heard about Nat Turner. Please.
But they have,
there has to be
Amber, one second.
They have real freedom fighters who are alive right now,
but they don't
who are
know,
leading this movement.
They don't know. They don't know. You come from please listen to me.
Amber,
you are coming from, and I admire the heck out of you, but you are coming from a position of privilege, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it because you have information. You have information, and not only that, you have the fire and the presence of mind to want it.
Yes, and
that makes you different, and that's exactly. But you are talking about this movie getting out to people who don't have what you have.
Right, but that's why we do the organizing work.
But you are not in Mississippi, sis. You are not in Mississippi. You are not in Mississippi or Alabama.
In Mississippi.
But you don't understand.
I work with young people who are in Mississippi.
Sis, you don't understand. Those people have the presence of mind to do that organizing. What about those folks who just want to come see a movie?
Black women are saying we want more.
I'm a black woman too, and I want more.
One second. Anjanou.
Sacrifice one over the other.
We have to make the right decision. We have to support cinema that tells our stories, not the stories of others.